everyone. So the resilience that you see on the court, the world-class athletes that make up the Milwaukee Bucks are trained by this woman. I am so excited to welcome our next guest for this Women's History Month series, Suki Hobson. Suki, you're a busy woman, my friend, so you know this means a lot to me. Thank you.
I'm so excited to be here. It's just wonderful to see your face.
Before we get started, where are you right now?
I am at work. I'm in our weight room, which is amazing. And there's very rarely nobody in here, and no one is in here at the moment. We have a day off today, which is incredibly rare in the NBA. So we're making the most of it. So thank you for making me come to work today.
Right. On the one day you probably could have gotten some rest. We appreciate it. As the head of strength and conditioning for the Bucks, what are you responsible for?
Oh, that's a great question. So I am one part of a performance medical department, and I'm responsible for the strength and conditioning department, and we have one other full-time staff member, Michael Davey. He's amazing, and between us we split the list, so we have half the players each, and we're responsible for the day-to-day strength conditioning program, power, organizing all their individual routines, working with our PTs and athletic trainers to identify all their areas of weakness and strength, and how to develop long-term plans to make them the best basketball players in the world.
I don't think people realize how continuous the training is, right? It's not just like, oh, Monday, Wednesday, Friday we lift. No, it's before games, it's after games. What's a typical day like for you?
Our typical day is all over the place, because we have obviously players that play 30 plus minutes a game. We have players that are coming off the bench. They're playing, 10 to 20 minutes a game. Then we have players that are not yet playing but need to be ready to play. And then we've got players at the moment, we've got some G League players who are awesome here, where we're trying to develop them into NBA players without them being able to play at the moment. So we've got an awfully large amount going on. So every day is different, and we've got players training, before practice, after practice, sometimes in the evenings, before games. We've got players training after games, and we've got players training the morning of a game. So it's a lot.
Coach Bud always credits you and everyone else in the performance department just for the preventative work that you do and meeting every player at the different levels, right? Because the program that you have for somebody that's playing 30 plus minutes is completely different than somebody who's maybe in the developmental stage. When we talk about development, you have worked with Giannis from basically almost the beginning. How many workouts do you think you prepared?
Well, we have obviously a logging system, and a system that we plan through and whatnot. So I think workout wise, I've done 600 to 800 workouts with him probably. And that doesn't count practices or shoot arounds or games. That's specifically strength, power, rehab, preventative work in Greece, work in China. We've been all over the world. It's been fantastic. And that's what I love. I love, obviously everybody wants to work with the high level athletes, and that's very rewarding. But for me, I very much enjoy the journey, starting with a scrawny 197 pound, weakling, and then, working through and developing and being part of his journey to where he is today.
What do you think of his journey, just when you reflect and maybe think of that very first picture? Everybody does the comparison, like the first picture of Giannis and today, and what's gone into that to get to this point?
I mean, everyone knows, Giannis's work ethic and his drive, but it's his organization and his structure that he has that a lot of other players that don't have. That, he's very organized in what he wants to achieve in his day. And when we joked about this the other day, we've never had a bad weight session in 6 years. He's been a bit grumpy on occasion, but we've never had a bad lift where I've been like, God, I'm so disappointed in you. And I would tell him that too. So, he always comes in, he always gets the job done. And that's the definition of, how to be a champion, is coming in and getting it done, whether or not you really want to.
Suki, a part of what I think makes you so special is, yes, your job is to train these athletes, but you get to know them as people. Why have you found that so important?
Someone said to me many years ago, I'll see if I can get this right. They said, no one cares what you know till they know that you care. And that's one of the things I said. I mean, no one in our industry does this job without caring, because everything you do is about other people. But I think it's very important that they understand that you care about them as a person, and you're part of that journey with them for however long it might be. We might have players for 10 days. but it's important that you make, they're important for the 10 days that they're here with us. And it's the same way when you see someone every day pretty much for 6 years, like I have done with Khris and Giannis.
The players know you care, that's clear. And in the front office, they talk about how amazing you are. You have the 2019 Strength Coach of the Year award to back everything up. But unfortunately, we still live in this world in 2021 where results don't convince anyone, even though they should. Have you ever received not so nice comments about your ability to do this job?
It's funny because I do get asked this quite often, normally by other women that I'm trying to help, and I'll always try and talk to them if they contact me about working in this field. I never have, but I'm sure I have, just not to my face. So I'm sure they're out there. I'm sure when we came here, myself and Troy Flanagan, both not from basketball. Troy had been working obviously with the US ski team for a long time. I came from football in Australia and Olympic sports. I was foreign, I was from another country, hadn't worked in basketball before, and they probably thought we were going to fail. But one thing that I think we do very well is we're very good at developing strong, resilient athletes, no matter what sport it is. And for me, winning the 2019 Strength Coach of the Year, which was voted on by all of the people who do my job in the league, was amazing. Absolutely amazing. For someone who'd been in the league for 4 years, to get that was incredibly humbling.
We're doing these interviews to celebrate women during Women's History Month, yourself included. What do you think are some of the ways that we can continue to celebrate, highlight, empower women?
Oh, wow. We just need to keep lifting each other up. That's the biggest thing, is we need to keep empowering and lifting each other up, and together. No one's ever achieved anything by themselves. They might look like they have, but you've not got there by yourself. I got this job because, Troy and the Milwaukee Bucks decided to employ me as the first female strength and conditioning coach in the NBA. I didn't, that's wonderful. They backed me in, the owners backed me in. I got my first job in football because a guy did the same thing and an organization did the same thing. So, we're not achieving this by ourselves. Everything's about relationships and lifting and empowering each other.
And you may be the first, but at this point, there's other women that are doing your job.
Absolutely. They are coming thick and fast. They're amazing. It just takes a couple of people to show and open the doors. And my experience has not been, I've been working in this field of elite sport for 21 years now. So it's a long time. And my experience has never been that it's the athletes that care. It's always the people who employ you that are like, oh, is this going to fit? Is this going to work? Or it could be a problem. It's not. So once they are now understanding that people can thrive in these roles in different ways, then the world's your oyster.
Before we let you go, Suki, I did want to share some shout outs with you, just to cement the fact that you are thriving in this role. So I'm going to send something to your phone, and just some people who really appreciate all the work that you do.
Okay, let me watch it.
Suki's been amazing.
Khris Middleton.
She's been here, I can't think of how many years. Seems like we've been together forever. But she's helped me through many injuries, many seasons to play at the highest level. She's an incredible woman, incredible person. She knows what she's doing. She knows when to, take it easy on me on times too in the mornings when I'm just trying to get going myself. But she puts her program for me before a game, after a game, before a practice. Just to get me ready to compete at the highest level that I need to be.
They work hard. I don't think they get enough credit for all the hard work they do day in and day out. They're always with us, and they're grinding just like we are.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, Khris generally hates me in season, and then in the off season he loves me. So I love Khris. Everyone jokes that Giannis is my favorite. No, Khris is my favorite.
She wouldn't do this bitch. It's crazy.
I'm glad we could clear that up. Suki, you have such a big impact on this organization. One last thing, can you explain the piece of equipment that's right behind you? What are we seeing?
The big piece of equipment?
Yes. Yes, that one big.
Yeah, your media boys are going to love this. So this is, your media guys are going to love this. This is just something that I drew up that Rogue Fitness made for us. It's amazing. They've come up with many names. I think one of them was the Hobstacle course, which I thought was hilarious. I quite like Optimus Prime, really, because who doesn't like Transformers? And yeah, the boys have heaps of fun. One of our things when they first come here is that one of the Milwaukee Bucks things is to be able to make it all the way through on the monkey bars, which for 6'9" guys who are, you know, often 240 pounds is a pretty good effort. So yeah, we have a lot of fun in here and try to do things a bit differently to the traditional way of training, and because it's a long season and you know, these guys see shiny things everywhere and they get bored easily. So we try and keep them entertained as well as actually getting the job done.
Well, Suki, again, thank you so much. You're awesome. We appreciate you.
Right back at you, Z. I look forward to seeing you soon.